Please be patient and bear in mind that if you don't like the sound of my voice, you're not alone. Apparently, as I recently found out, according to the BBC News, I live in the state of the United States that is famous for having the world's ugliest accent. Hey guys, HerbQuest here, and I got one hell of a progress video today. I've been working hard to get this one pumped out as quick as possible because we got the Dead Man Mode tournament coming up this Friday, and I think I'm going to let you guys on to how I do my time lapses a little bit in this video. But starting out, my friend here, Canadian Goof, spotted a lucky impling for me, so if you guys want to see what I got for that, stay tuned. And I got one more teaser coming up for you with my alt account that I've had camped out at Wyverns for quite a while. And this deserves a little bit of backstory. So, starting off, here at the Wyvern Cave, this guy, Old Gamma, he's just chilling there with me in the Wyvern Cave for a while. I'm killing him on the middle island. And this guy comes up and tries to crash me. Not Old Gamma, the guy in the trade, but a different guy. And I end up losing or re-aggroing because I stood in the wrong spot, and so I went up the stairs to wait for my aggro to reset after hitting the south wall, so I reset my area. And I'm just sort of chilling there, and I'm just AFKing on this account, doing the Wyverns while now waiting for the aggro to reset on the Wyverns while I make rune crafting gains on the Iron Man. And I look over and all of a sudden a visage just pops up right on the fucking floor, right under the staircase. So I click the stairs, click the visage, goes into my inventory, and I go back up the stairs, and I'm just sort of chilling there like, wow, this guy just like DC'd or something, and I'm trying to think about what to do. My friend is sitting next to me. He's like, dude, you just made bank. There's a free 7 mil for you. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't feel right about just taking some dude's visage. So I wait a second, and he comes up the stairs, and he's like, hey, I saw that visage. Did you take it? Were you the one that got it? I DC'd, or I was lagging, or something like that. I forget exactly what he said. And, well, if you want to see what happens next, stay tuned. I'll show that at the end, right after the loot from the lucky impling. Hashtag sellout and watch time horror in the comments. Alright, so on to the time-lapse then. The main focal point of this video. I'm not really going to play music during this one, more of I'm just going to speak. So, first of all, since Dead Man Mode tournament is coming up soon, and I am ranked, and they've made some hefty changes to that, I want to talk about that, but first, let me get into what this time-lapse is. Basically, I am leveling rune crafting. As you can see, I am mining the essence right now, and as you'll start to notice over time is that the speed of the footage is going to get exponentially faster. And to do that, I rendered various clips at various speeds, and some of the rendering sessions took 12 hours plus for the first batch of clips to get them to 4x speed. I've got over 70 hours roughly of sped up footage. That's raw footage. 70 hours of raw footage that I sped up. It was over 100, but in order to get this video finished by the time the Dead Man tournament came out, I had to sort of cheat to speed up the clips by manually selecting which frames to show during the end of the video here, and since it's an exponential growth, it kind of matches anyway, and it just cut down the rendering time by a good 40 to 60 hours worth of rendering, so that's fantastic there. So there's that. You'll start to see this footage get faster and faster all the way up to the end. Now for the Dead Man Mode tournament and Dead Man Mode seasonals, a couple videos ago, I made a top 10 suggestions video. And my number one suggestion was to ban swapping from the Deadman Mode season and tournament, because I felt that swapping is really unfair. I mean, it's a seasonal server. Things from other games like old school RS3 or however many bonds you'd like to buy a month shouldn't affect your progress in the Deadman Mode seasonals, and it certainly shouldn't affect your ability to compete in a $20,000 gaming tournament. Everything from the server should be earned from that server. You shouldn't really be getting help from the outside, and that's just for the competition's sake. And that's just my opinion, respect that or not. That's just how I feel about it. And I had the idea of openly saying that I was going to swap in order to boycott the idea of swapping so that I can demonstrate how bad it is for the economy to have all these swappers. And well, I won't be doing that because this season they actually ended up banning swapping. So now, it's like wish granted. Cool, I can just play like normal, no swapping, and it's against the rules, so I'm not going to break the rules. No need to boycott it, because I was going to boycott it so that they would make it against the rules. So that works out, quite frankly. That was an awesome turn of events there. And then the other awesome thing about this Deadman mode is I didn't think that I'd actually be able to participate in this tournament and season, because I had planned on getting a job soon coming up here in May. However, they're doing the Deadman tournament in March, so that doesn't interfere with that. Looks like I'll be able to do one last tournament before I can no longer devote such hours to this game. So that is fucking awesome. Now, the third major thing, this is a little less awesome in some regards, but it might end up helping me compete and give me a little bit of an edge come the tournament. I've actually recently attempted to quit smoking cigarettes. I haven't quit fully. I still smoke a few here and there, but I haven't had one today, for instance. Not yet. I'm not planning on having one till like evening time, and it is a struggle. Let me tell you, I've been smoking since I was around 13 years old. So that's a long time, and it is quite the habit, and not letting myself fulfill those urges to smoke is overwhelmingly difficult and frustrating at times, and things tend to get amplified and whatnot. Now, with Deadman mode coming up, though, I think that's going to make me a little more vicious, a little less empathetic. I'm probably going to kill a lot more noobs. I'm going to probably PK a lot more in general, because I'm just going to have that general anger, and that satisfaction of getting those kills and getting those keys is going to feel so fucking good. I'm going to love it. As far as strategies go, though, I think I'm going to delve away from the range tank build this time, because normally what I do is I rush agility, or at least the last few tournaments and seasonals, I rush agility and then go straight to Salarin the Twisted, get my ranged up on the druids right before him, and then go and get my mage up on him and concentrate on herblore and get all those sick herblore games early on. However, with the recent changes they made to wilderness bosses dropping Cerebrews and restores, and the Barrows chests giving you herbs and restores and whatnot, I think a much better method for herblore is going to be the farming route this time. So I think I'm going to end up getting only 60 or so agility, maybe like 63, so I can agility potion, not summer pie, but agility pot over the Mauritania agility obstacle there. I feel like that would be a very beneficial agility shortcut, especially if I do decide to go for Ancients this time. I think I might make this the first tournament that I go for Ancients, because with the 1v1s at the end, Mage is becoming a lot more viable. It wasn't so viable last tournament because of how spread out we are, like in the previous tournaments where we've been clustered and clumped in the center of a tight little area. Then Blood Barrage is freaking awesome for a lot of people because you just heal up to full health and just hope not to get targeted, and every cast just about heals you up to full. It's really overpowered. But range is a lot better for survivability because most people are maging in those instances, and also last tournament we saw people getting more spread out. The area is a lot bigger, so with those clumps, the multi-way blood barrages aren't that effective because you're not going to be hitting as many people. The clumps won't be as big, so that's something to keep in mind. And also the 1v1s at the end, I'm going to need probably a full tribrid setup. I'm going to go for Desert Treasure a little bit. If I get cut off and it looks like it's taken too long, then I'll just go range melee hybrid, but I'm not going to just go straight range tank this time. I've done that 2 or 3 attempts in a row now. I'm going to switch up the meta a little bit. Although it is a good build, range tank is nice. I've gone over the perks and drawbacks of it before, but I'm going to go range melee hybrid this time. Maybe tribrid if I can get Desert Treasure. As far as content and quest order goes, I am debating on whether I want to go for Ava's first or whether I want to go for Monkey Madness first. I think I'm going to just leave it up to whatever items I have on me at any given time, where I get killed at, who I kill, and what I get from that. I'm going to make a lot of my PK loot sort of determine what I do. One thing with the tournaments is I really like to play it by ear, because the best thing you can do at any given situation is very highly variable on what you have. I mean, sure, you can have a general goal or plan in mind, but that's not always going to work out for you. Now, coming up here, I have some live commentary because I have finally achieved the level 99 in this stat. Alright guys, it's been a long time in the making, but with this craft, we've got the special fireworks for one of the longest 99s in the game. It's finally over. I can now craft 10 air runes, Jesus, and double deaths. That's great. I didn't know about 10 airs. That seems like it might be kind of useful, actually. And then, of course, the cape, I get to use that as a talisman of every type while rune crafting, so I don't have to use any more, which is kind of useless. I'll just incorporate that with the max cape, maybe buy it when I get my cape rack for when I do construction. Now let's take a look at the stats. So I think I'm going to be special and save Herblore for last. Thieving is another one I can knock right out. I'm going to do that next. And then I think I'm going to do Slayer before Smithing, although I should probably do Smithing before Slayer so I can use the products of Smithing for Slayer, but at the same time I can use the profits of Slayer for Smithing if I just like melee everything. So I might do that and then save all my ammo post Slayer for bossing, for the post max and everything to do with that. But long time in the making. There's 99 rune crafting. Let's go OXP more and call it a video here. Well, first, let's take a look at my other account real quick and how that's going. Okay, and so as promised, Canadian Goof scored me this lucky imp that got me 12 blue firelighters. How very unsatisfactory and how very anticlimactic, I should say. Yes, anticlimactic. But thank you again, Canadian Goof, for the shout out. That could have been anything. It's my RNG that scuffed. Your call out was excellent, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Much love, brother. And moving on, I have some live commentary for the Visage situation that happened earlier with that other character. So, back to that Wyvern Cave. Alright guys, Herb Quest here with an interesting clip. I just I recaught aggro at Wyverns, and I was healing my health, and a Visage popped up on the ground while this guy was AFK. And I am gonna give him his Visage with no charge back. I'm gonna ask him for a 1 mil. And let's see if he gives 1 mil, since I'm giving him the Visage that he rightfully earned. And my friend IRL is calling me a lame motherfucker for doing so.
Yeah, it's his fault for being AFK.
I can't just, like, take a Visage from a guy, because it just popped up right there. He was AFK right there. He says that he's lagging. So, it was his.
So what?
Everyone watch this. This guy is legit. Thanks, man.
What?
But I've gotten a few on the Iron Man. First one on the main. Well, it wasn't even mine though. It was this guy's. I'll pause here and I'll start recording again once he grabs that 1 mil for me. Alright, so he said he's gonna pay me my money in a couple hours, like 3 hours, and then he's gonna run me that 1 mil for sharing his Visage with him. I couldn't just take it. That'd be so fucked up, I think, just to grab his Visage and just like log out or something. I couldn't do that. I couldn't live with that, so my friend says I'm a fool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you have done the same? Alright guys, I don't know if this is him giving me the 1 mil yet, maybe. Is he coming to trade me? We're going up here. And there's 1 mil for giving him the Visage. Sweet. Thank you, Matt. And, yeah, so, long story short, Old Gamer here, he got a Visage, was AFK and lagging real bad, and I picked it up because he couldn't get it in time, and I picked it up and gave it to him, and he wanted a split, and I'm like, I'll take a mil if that's cool, and, yeah, he just gave me a mil, that's cool. So, yeah, I figured I'd toss that in the vid. That doesn't happen every day. I haven't seen a Visage in a long time. This guy doesn't even believe it. good chance to sell out the channel, get some promotion going on. Alright, catch you guys in the next clip where we'll work on some rune crafting. And ironically, the time lapse is already over in this video, but here I am in free-to-play wilderness with 100 mil in my inventory. What in the fuck am I doing here? Well, actually, I just figured that this would be a fun and interesting place to trade my friend Nabtastic, because I owe him a lot of money from the RuneScape 3 era, and we've been talking about the debt, and we rounded it out to about 100 mil old school cash with the swap rates from RS3 that I owe him. And after nearly 5 years of owing my friend Nabtastic this 100 mil, I've finally managed to pay him back. So I figured I'd toss that in the video, because that means for this main account that I'm now not just saving up money, but rather saving up my own money for my own gains, and I can start making content with this account now too when I'm working on something on my Iron Man that's going to take a really long time to accomplish. So we can look forward to seeing some stuff from this account in the future. Since swapping's banned, I won't be getting any Deadman money or money from Deadman to this account, which was going to be the plan, because I was going to swap this season and demonstrate how bad swapping was, and then have like 100 so mil to work with on this account after doing Deadman. But now they've banned swapping in Deadman. You're not allowed to swap anymore, which is awesome. That's exactly what I wanted all along. So I do have a Dragon Hunter crossbow on this account. I ended up getting it around when it was 47 mil. So I'm going to use this account to AFK Wyverns until I'm doing something AFK-ish enough on Herb, probably Slayer, to where I can do Dragon Slayer 2 on this account, and then get on that Vorkath grind, because I have the best in slot bow for it. Get the Avas, and then maybe go PKing with the upgraded Avas and some other gear, practice my Brid skills, put out some PvP content. But for right now, I've got one more clip of live commentary, because whilst rendering all that footage, you can imagine how long that must have taken. I have a live commentary clip of another goal that I completed. Alright guys, and with this last couple bits of rune ore here, gonna head over to the bank. I've been working on this for quite a while doing the footage editing for the rune crafting time lapse that you just saw. And Deadman mode is coming up very soon. This ore is taking absolutely forever. And we only got the one. Oh well, let's just go bank here. And with this ore, inventory of ore, we have achieved 10,000 runite ore total. I finally completed this little side goal while AFKing on my other account, and that's a nice little stack of 112 mil there. Well, I hope you guys enjoy that, and I'll see you soon with some unedited Deadman clips. I'll probably just upload them at the end of each day when I go to sleep. And then the final hour, I'll include the full hour of that. Maybe if something's boring, I'll stop the recording and restart it and cut in from a certain point of the final hour. And then when seasonal comes along, I'll take the time to edit those very carefully, etc. And then back to Iron Man, following the Deadman seasonals on the road to max grind. Peace, everyone. Oh my god, guys, I completely almost forgot about this last little screenshot that I took. I didn't have my recording going at the time because I was all done rune crafting, and this was while I was rendering all the footage. But if you look at the screen on the right, I'll zoom in real quick, I got a visage of my own. It's like karma for giving that other guy a visage. I get my own whole visage. Well, I guess if you look at it that way, if I would have kept it and I still would have gotten the visage, then I would have had two visages. But still, looks like karma to me. I'm happy with it. Figured I'd fill you guys in, let you know. I got a second visage. This is before the 100 mil, by the way. But since I wasn't recording, it wasn't a film clip, so it was in my pictures folder and all that. So I decided, fuck it, I'll just stick it in here at the end of the video. And peace one last time. See you in Deadman.